Border Management Authority says it's ready to process thousands of travellers and goods at ports of entry this Easter weekend. The authority says it has about 100 border guards at Lebombo Border Gate with Mozambique. BMA's Deputy Commissioner Jane Thupana visited the Lebombo border to check the state of readiness. SABC News reporter Tumelo Machogo has more.
Well, there's a hive of activities here at Lebombo Border Gate where many travelers are actually crossing towards to Mozambique, and also others are crossing into South Africa. But the authorities, border management authorities, they are also here to actually ensure that there is no illegal activities that is happening also on at this borderline. But let's speak to the Deputy Commissioner of the Border Management Authority, Ms. Jane Thupana. Just talk to us about, are you guys ready for traffic that is going to be expected to be picking up, especially this afternoon when many of travelers will be crossing towards Mozambique and others will also be crossing to South Africa?
Yeah, thanks for having us. Indeed, we are ready as the Border Management Authority, together with our partners in the sector who are working with us. You would know that we have various protocols that we have entered into with key institutions that are also responsible for law enforcement. In this area, we're working in our teams have SARS on the board, SAPS, SANDF. We're also having the provincial traffic as well as the municipality traffic authority here. We have other institutions like the RTMC to just make sure that our plan is tightened up. But in addition to our own local stakeholders, we're having a working relationship with our Mozambican counterparts. We make sure that co-location does happen. Co-location means that we are sitting, if you go to our booths, you find that you have in South Africa sitting there facilitating, checking the passport, but you would also find the Mozambican counterparts sitting in there, such that when you process travelers in one point, then the movement becomes swift, other than when you're having various stoppages. So that happens. Also, it happens with our colleagues in SARS. Previously, you would have SARS processing, and then after they are processed for the goods, they have to move elsewhere and be processed in terms of immigration. We are now collocating with SARS, our SARS counterparts here. So the movement of trade in that way is facilitated easier because we don't have a long period. We're trying to reduce our turnaround time, the target to say, we shouldn't be hindering trade in such a manner that goods are moving swiftly and quicker. So in terms of managing the corridor, we are ready in terms of the roadblocks that would happen here. We would be able to detect when there is a need for a roadblock. Also, as a joint operation, roadblocks will be happening with our border guards, with the various institutions that I have mentioned. Additionally, much as we are prepared, by this afternoon, we're expecting that traffic will peak by 2 o'clock. That is the estimate that we have made. But our traffic colleagues are having direct line with their traffic counterpart back along the corridor. As far as Middleback, they are able to quickly send information when traffic is picking up, so that we adjust our arrangements. If it shows that traffic may pick up earlier than 2 o'clock as we anticipated, we will quickly make sure that there are more officials that are brought in and there are more desks that are available to process travelers as they arrive. So these are some of the contingencies. A lot has been done in terms of the plan to take care of this.
And also, we were talking earlier, you were talking about you guys already have guards that you guys have about hundreds of them that they have already been deployed at this border gate. Just talk to us about that, and also the number of arrests. I see we have already seen some of people have been already being arrested, and also what are you guys going to do about that, especially to ensure that there's no illegal activities that is happening here?
Yeah, indeed. As we beef up capacity, you would imagine that our border guards are equally peace officers. They are authorized in law to do arrests. Only that when arrests happen, then we hand over to our colleagues in SABC for the process then to smoothly run through our criminal justice system. So indeed arrests are taking place, we're not allowed to arrest. We're allowed to enforce law and order in our ports, to make sure that the laws of this country are observed, to make sure that there are no illegal people moving into the country or people exiting, or even goods. You would know that in many instances they are vehicles that are stolen elsewhere in the country that are moved through our borders and our ports of entry into the neighboring countries. Those are instances where such arrests would happen, and we are working together, our statistics with SABC, to make sure that any person either found to be having illegal goods or smuggling illegal things out of the country are quickly intercepted and arrested. And we will be able to share the stats as we move through this period until the entire Easter plan is rounded up.
Talk to me about it. We have already seen like trucks, like long queues of trucks, and people have been concerned about that trucks are queuing for kilometers and kilometers. What are you guys doing about that to ensure that these trucks will also get processed very quickly? Because already now there's about 10 kilometers of trucks that are already lining up just to cross the border. What are you guys going to do to ensure that those trucks are also processed faster, so that also it doesn't delay, especially for travelers?
Indeed, trucks are meant to facilitate trade, but also if they are on the road, they would hinder travelers who want to move faster with smaller cars. We have, even if trucks are taking this long, you'd see that they are lined up within the yellow lane, so that we are able to facilitate smaller vehicles, ordinary travelers to pass through, so that they reach the port and are being processed. With regard to the trucks, our colleagues in SARS are doing their best, and I can attest that they have the best available facilitation movement to facilitate trade. One of the things that we can share, which is the information that we are getting as we interact, I indicated that SARS is part of our team. The port in Mozambique, Maputo, had been clogged up, I guess, flooding, and there was no movement to that side. You can imagine what happens in Maputo affects what happens in South Africa. Now, if there is no movement through Maputo port, then it means that trucks are not allowed to come that side. They cannot process more trucks to move that side when that has been closed. We were informed that had been fixed, so movement has only been allowed with effect from yesterday late. So we will begin to see now trucks being facilitated. But please, let's understand that the long queue of trucks that you're seeing there is not because of the inefficiencies in the port. It's because they cannot move over, because Maputo wasn't taking any trucks to go through.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That was Jane Thupana. She is the Deputy Commissioner for the Border Management Authority, and talking to us about the readiness, the state of readiness for this port of entry. You remember that they're saying that the traffic is expected to start peaking in the afternoon and in the late afternoon, and already seen a lot of people also crossing into the border, so crossing into Mozambique. So traffic is expected to peak just around after 2 o'clock.